to have quieted down. I hope you folks are doing well. Give me 1 second if you would. Gonna be an interesting one. Um, Want to make sure I've kind of got everything together. I did okay getting things together beforehand, but yeah. So, let me go ahead and we'll move over to this then. Whoop. There you go. Howdy, howdy. Hope you folks are doing well. I'm Cody with IronVerse Comics, and we're finishing the base coats on these guys, hopefully. We might do a little bit more since some of the stuff is base coated. Like I could maybe do the washes on the capes, these guys here, but I don't know. We'll feel it out. Um, I just need to get this done, and it's been difficult the last few days, and I found some time now, so taking advantage of it while I got it. Um, if you folks watched the last or part one of this, you'll know that one of the main issues I was having was the adhesives getting these guys to the base, and that made it difficult to manipulate them so I could paint them cleanly and safely. That should be solved. It's a lot of glue, but it should be solved. I'm very hopeful on that end. We'll see how this hat in particular holds up to a little bit of water and some paint. Hopefully it holds up just fine. The pistol, which was a pain in the butt if you guys watched last time with the broken barrel. Hopefully that is, I mean, it from above it doesn't look that great, but from the sides it works. It works. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, and this fella isn't any problem except for I think he was one of the more difficult to get that adhesive to stick. So we already did the silvers and the blues and the reds. One of the things I wanted to get to last time that I couldn't because I would have to hold the feet to hold the figure was the browns. So that's probably the first thing we're going to do is hit up the browns. And then I've got to get the faces, the hairs in black. If I can do both, that would be great. And then get the shirt in that dark blue kind of mix. So that's going to be the goal, is to at least get those colors down on these guys on this stream. And go from there. Go from there. Um, as always, I'm here, so feel free to chat, talk about whatever. I think last time I did this stream, I mentioned we had lost kind of a member of the IronVerse Comics team, the newest member, who was really exceedingly helpful in getting our print issues out this last campaign and such. And that hit me hard that day. Um, but due to that, we are stalling issue number 4 for a little bit longer. It's disappointing for me as well, but I want to make sure I've got that stuff settled. The printing company, of course, still exists, so I might still work with them. However, the main reason I worked with them last time was him. His personal touch, his care, and his professionalism and all that made it possible to do that work. So I don't know if that possibility is still there, and we'll have to find out here in time. And anyway, I'll be informing folks as we go. But that's just something I thought I'd mention. I have already made the announcement a couple places, but of course I'm leaving the sign up. We're not canceling issue number 4 or anything like that. But still, I was hoping to launch by the end of this month, um, and there's just too many moving parts. It's not the right time, and I don't want to force something to happen right now. Um, it's been a crazy year, and forcing things probably isn't going to make anything any better. So, anywho, we'll just dive into this. We're going to use the brown and go from there. I guess I should remove this stuff. I have a couple charms that I tend to wear when I have to deal with the public. Very helpful. The other one that I got on, I don't have to remove right now, which is nice. But yeah, let's see. Oh, okay, that's tapping against that. Sounded like somebody was outside. I don't want to deal with people. So I guess we'll go with this guy. Brown I have is, of course, in the Citadel paint here, so it's not gonna need too much water. And I think I'll do the boots on up and go from there. I hope you folks have had a good week. Mine's been alright. Uh, all things considered, of course. Uh, been doing, finished the first part of some extra training at work, which was kind of nice. Um, honestly, I was years behind, and they just didn't because I was naturally pretty good at it. They never really forced me to go through it, but it was time. It was time, and maybe it'll come with a pay boost too. Would be nice. If nothing else, I got extra hours in, so that was nice. A little extra cash here and there is very helpful these days, and the fact that I have a good job with a local business is unbelievable blessing in this crazy time. Otherwise, I finished the fourth omnibus of Shaman King. I'm still really enjoying that series. It's funny, a lot of it, this latest one took place in Durango, which of course is supposed to be Durango. It's up in Colorado. It's only, God, maybe an hour away from me. Um, and the natives in that series called the Patch. Not 100% sure what tribe they're supposed to be, but I think they're honestly, if I had to say, they aren't directly off of a native tribe like a lot of the locations. Like there was Yanta Fe instead of Santa Fe that they went through. A little weird, not terribly necessary name changes, I'd say, on the location front. I think it's odd that it was just so minor as well, but just interesting that it ended up taking place kind of near where I am right now. Um, that doesn't tend to happen with manga. Manga usually is taking place in Japan, um, as you know you would expect. Not always, of course. A lot of the time it's medieval times, right? Or some kind of fantasy setting. But if it's a modern-ish setting, usually it's not America, let alone down here in the Southwest. So that was neat. That was neat with this latest omnibus there. I also am getting closer to completing my Gru the Wanderer Epic collection, which is nice because they're getting hard to find, and I scored a 50 issue lot from this guy for like 50 to 75 cents a piece on the issues. Um, which a lot of them go for quite a bit more, especially after issue 100 or so. The print runs got real small before it likely got canceled or stopped getting made or Epic stopped existing. I'm not quite sure the circumstances of the finishing of what's called Gru Volume 2. Um, but yeah, so that's neat. I'm looking forward to reading some more Gru. Uh, the humor keeps me sane these days, or at least as sane as I get. And yeah, so I mean, I'm progressing one day at a time, and that's all you can hope for, right? Again, especially with the insanity these days, I just hope we don't completely flip out here soon. We're under a lot of pressure these days as a society, and not really giving each other much space to breathe on the society level, and we never really did, to be honest. But there was more space to be claimed, right? You can go out and find more space to breathe. Um, Nowadays, though, those spaces, if they're not outright just destroyed, very difficult to reconcile with and find a good way to inhabit them again. It's kind of a bitch. What it is, what it is. Again, one day at a time, and gotta have some kind of faith in the journey, even if it's misplaced. Again, it's a sanity thing more than a realism thing. You never know. Things can get pretty shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do the silver on the boot tips too. Probably when I do the guns. Alright, belt and holsters. Or do I want to do another pair of boots? Let's just do the belt and holsters. I'll do one figure at a time in the browns. Let me go ahead, put some music on, go from there. See how loud it is to me. Ooh, for me it's very loud. There you go. That'll do. And get some more water on this brush. It was not great. There we go. There we go. Pigment. Hopefully I'm also less caffeinated this go compared to last. Last go my hands were terribly shaky. This one it feels a little bit better. Probably best I get that then. Okay. Where's the camera angle? That's fine. This camera had a better zoom function. I totally hooked that up with you guys. So you weren't looking at my face as much as you could be looking at the model and what I'm doing, but there's only so much space. Sadly, this looks like it's probably the best I could do for you guys. It's not too bad though. If anybody is watching and the music is too much, let me know. I don't know what the levels are like on your end. I can just guess through the VLC output there. What do you call that? The visualizers on VLC there. Kind of tell me if it's too much or too little. Definitely had that problem with gaming. For sure, I fucked up some volume on that many times. Alright, that's a brown belt and brown boots. Now on to a brown hat. Has riff from a completely different artist and album. Has very similar notes to the last song that was played. That's funny. That's funny to me. At least the intro did. Maybe the notes aren't the same. It's a different key or something, but similar choice of composition. If that's even the term, I don't know. Something like that, though. Okay, under the hat. That's a toughie. Then I gotta do gloves. That's the other one. Okay. Now, see, Jack's gloves in the comic are black, and on the test model, I did them in brown. And I'm unsure if I should do them in black or brown on the backer models either. If I'm honest, I'm very unsure about that. This looks good in brown. There's not much black on Jack, so they do end up standing out more, which, I don't know, there's some benefits and some negatives to that. But, yeah. Opinion in the comments would be dope on that. Help me figure it out before I get to that step. No, which would be right now, wouldn't it? I think I do the guns black, so that would be my main concern. Is that the gloves are, the gun and the gloves might blend together too much if I do that. I don't know. I'll move on to the next guy and do his browns, besides the gloves, and maybe I'll have an idea by then. Who knows? Who knows? Boots. Be honest, I'm using my fine detail brush on this base coating. It's nice because it's easy to control, but it might be slower than I'd like. I'm in no rush. Honestly, again, there's not too much I gotta do on these. Just these browns are actually the primary. But yeah, read some Shaman King. And I just heard that the next omnibus, the Volume 5 omnibus, got delayed nearly a month, so I was hoping I'd get to read one a month, but I don't know what happened. But it's being delayed. So with the printing, I'd guess. I'd assume Japan does a lot of its... Well, this case is an American release, right? So I know for a fact American releases deal a lot with Chinese printers. So there's always a chance at some shenanigans on that end. But, at least from what I can tell, the Fist of the North Star next omnibus should still be coming out at the end of this month, so I'm excited for that. Or hardcover collected, I don't know what they're called. But the new reissue of Fist of the North Star, and I loved the first one. Not only, of course, the content, it's a fun, really cool story. I mean, it's Kung Fu Mad Max. Or to be fair, Jeet Kune Do, Mad Max. I really loved how they printed it. All the little extra details that they added, like the blood marks and how those were embossed so you could feel it like a stain, and just the whole quality of the printing was fucking crazy good. So I'm excited to hopefully Volume 2 is very similar. So I'm excited for that, and just to continue the story, I actually had not read Fists of the North Star, and it's really good. Kind of knew it was, and it's right up my alley, right? But really hard to get a hold of before this new reissue, or whatever you want to call it. And so I'm stoked about those as well. Really stoked. So that's the end of this month. Comes out on the 21st, and it'll take a little bit to ship. So end of this month, I'll be reading that. Hopefully. You never know. Otherwise, though, I wasn't doing much reading there for a while. Just too damn tired. And like my free time went for a good chunk of the time there was going to Aliens Fireteam Elite, which has a kind of double A game is what I'd call it. Triple A license, B movie funding. It's really good, but you can tell they kind of hit what they can do, and it wasn't as much as the community wanted, and so that's starting to take hold, and it's sad to see, because if the game got a shit ton of support, there's a lot of cool things they could do. So we'll see. It's only been a week or two past launch, but that's the problem, is that it had about 11,000 players the first week, on average, on Steam per day. Hopefully it's doing better on the consoles, but I wouldn't know. Today it was hitting almost sub 2,000. So it dropped off pretty good. Most people have done everything it has to offer already. Like I beat the campaign for it, man, within 8 hours, something like that, which was fun. It was a fun fucking campaign, but they bet a lot on replay value, right? And that can be fine. Upping difficulties, playing it again, and all of that. But how they have the matchmaking set up, it becomes very difficult to do. I mean, there's no in-game communication, and so as a survival horror game, squad-based survival horror game, you gotta have your buddies with you, your actual in real life buddies playing it with you, to do the higher difficulties with any real chance of success. Because I mean, once you get past the normal difficulty, there's friendly fire, and if you're not communicating, people are gonna knock their friends and randos down very easily. I mean, you've got fully automatic weapons and flamethrowers and such, so not the best experience there, right? Then part of the other more replayable part was their Horde Mode, which I'm always a fan of a Horde Mode, particularly when it's got good progression. I like shooting things. I mean, I'm fine shooting the same things again and again and again if it's fun and I'm working towards something. And there were some botched things that happened there too. They ended up there was a in-game bug that all the weapons were 4-star and had the ability to 4-star, but they weren't. You would still working for the progression, so a level 0 weapon still performed as a 4-star weapon. And so what they ended up doing was just giving everybody 4-star weapons and then fixing that bug so that they didn't have to undo people's progress. But then they took away a lot of my impetus for continuing to play, which was to upgrade the weapons. I didn't know that the weapons were performing just fine. Didn't matter to me. I just liked seeing the scale go up. You know, that's part of RPGs. Part of what it's kind of a looter shooter, like looter shooter light. Um, and that was part of it. And so now you can still grind the classes, and they did add a new class recently, and that was nice. But eh, if I had a buddy or two playing it, I would still probably be playing it. But I don't, and so it's tougher to do that. Tougher to justify that doing my time. So, anyway, that was a good amount of my time, was that for a little while. Instead of reading, it was just a good vent. But that's done, so then I got my omnibus in and read that pretty quick. Keep trying to get through the Trigun Maximum first omnibus. You know, Trigun should be something I love. In fact, one of my favorite anime movies was the last piece of Trigun animation that was put out. I forgot what it was called. Um, Fucking great film. But every time, and like the anime's good too. The anime's really solid. But the books, man, the manga is incomprehensible at points. The pacing, how it jumps from idea to idea, the paneling, the dialogue choices from either the translation or the writer, and then the translators just had to work with what they got. I don't know, but it's terrible. It's just fucking. I don't know how people could love that series, um, like they do, except for Vash being an amazing character, and I think that's what carries Trigun overall was the anime, which cleared up a lot of the confusion that the actual sequential art has just built in with how it's the choices, the artistic choices the mangaka made, but also because Vash is a great character. But it's as a manga, it's so tough, and I really want to get through, and I really want to like it. I really do. But it's just it can be incomprehensible. And that's just not fun to read. There's no flow to something, and I have to keep going back from one panel to a next just to see like what was he trying to communicate here, and then not being able to even figure it out when you go back. That's it sucks. It sucks. But it is what it is, and I am glad it exists. And it's if nothing else because it spawned some amazing motion picture stuff, amazing animation, but also because it's teaching me as a writer at the very least, hopefully, to communicate clearer than that's able to, because holy hell. One of these days I'll have to maybe do a stream talking about it specifically so I can show examples, because you might not believe me, Or hell, you might not even agree. Maybe I just can't read that manga and it's just a blind spot. But, I mean, I read all through the original Dark Horse run and it had the same problem. Or Dark Horse translation, I guess I'll call it. Their first two omnibuses, that's the whole original series. And it had the same problems, but at least it did. Over time, a story progressed, right? And you could tell that story progressed, but minute to minute, panel to panel, very tough read. Took me forever to get through that, and it's my favorite kind of genre. It's a fucking weird western in space. It's the genre I decided to dedicate my work to. I love that genre, and that is not a prime example of it from a readability standpoint. Maybe from a design standpoint, yeah, some really cool designs, like the giant light bulbs that power cities. Those are fucking cool. The steamships, Vash's pistol, Vash himself, very iconic. Um, the enemies can be very iconic looking, memorable, like that crazy hillbilly family that's got a giant mama and like a little round dude that the mama throws around. Just weird fucking designs that are pretty cool. But actually reading the story is a headache for me. And that sucks. And yeah, I'm pretty stream of consciousness right now, but it is helping me focus. So, pardoname if it's not all that enjoyable to you folks. I'm almost done with the browns, which is nice. That was, again, that was the bigger part. And the rest of it's not going to take too long. It'll be nice to get these done on that level, and then the next stream after this will be the washes. Maybe not the next stream on the channel. Next stream on the channel might be gaming related, but the next IronVerse Paints stream will be the washes. Guaranteed. Still got to do the yellow on those little chap patch that's on both sides of the model as well. But everything in due time. Nice thing is if I do this right, hopefully some of it will be dry from the first model I did. And just make the whole process a little bit safer to pull off without, say, running the paint or whatever. Excuse me on the sniffling. Sometimes it's dust, sometimes it's slight allergies, sometimes it's just shit stuck in there. holding my breath a lot too to keep my hands steady, so some of it's that. Hope none of it's as bad as, since I have the noise cancellation, right? I did an interview with Comics Perch a long time ago, and man, my breathing on that, it just ruins the whole damn thing. Very kind, he gave me that opportunity and everything. It sucks. Kind of had some allergies that day, and it's just, ugh. But it's up on the channel if you folks want to check it out. I think it was a good interview, but the recording of it, yeah, it's you gotta be able to and willing to listen to my breathing, and that's, ugh. I apologize for that. It disappoints me as much as anybody else, I'm sure. Maybe more than most. That would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, there's my breathing again. A lot of holding my breath. Okay, that's the browns there, pretty much. Alright, let's get the hat then. And after this hat, I'll have to decide if I want to do the gloves brown or black. And I think I'm going to do them brown. Doing them brown, then that's the last thing I got to do with the browns. But I think I'm gonna, because it'll help contrast against the guns. I think the risk of them blending in too much to the pistoles will be a major problem. There we go. Now, washing these is going to be a trip, because I can only hold one upside down at a time. I'm only going to be able to wash one figure at a time. Because I only have the one clipper deal. I'm going to have to figure that out. If I do that, at least the videos will be shorter. That might be worth it. Yeah, I'm going to do the gloves brown. So it was an option with these tiers, the folks who got these, to tell me how they wanted me to paint them. Nobody did. So I'm painting them how I want to paint them, which is close to the comic. Very close where I can. Again, this is a deviation, because the guns will have a lot of black to them. Whereas the only time Jack really uses the pistols in the comics, they're just pure silver. They're just chrome silver, steel colored, you know. So that black doesn't really contrast with it like crazy. But, you know, the black on the gloves. But here it's gonna. Alright, let's get this glove over here. This is the one I have to paint the hole on the glove myself as well, which a little bit of a pain in the ass, but there's worse things. Okay. If I'm right, I think the skin tone is next. But I gotta finish all these gloves. I think that's the next color we're going for. Yep. Alright. I'll do the skin tone next. Or yeah, I'll do the belly next. Which is a mix of cobalt and that metallic black. So that'll be fun, mixing some paints instead of just using this straight brown's fine, whatever. I like mixing paints. Boom, boom, boom. Seriously though, folks, talking about it earlier, but I hope you are doing well. This year has a lot. I mean, I think it's significantly higher than usual for myself, and what I've heard from many others, a lot more things just disappearing. Now just disappearing. Okay. A lot more losses. Friends, family members, pets, whatever. I mean, every season has those kinds of losses, right? But between 2019 and this year, it's been crazy. Massive systematic and spiritual and physical changes to how the mechanics of this fucking place work. And anyway, I've seen it again and again. People just going, just poof. And I've seen it for a lot of people. So I hope you're staying safe and you're staying smart and you're doing your best. That's all we can hope for, and I have to believe that's enough to get us through it to another side. It'll never be the same. That's not how this works, of course. Never be the same, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it'll be better at the end. At the change of cycles. I mean, that's not always how it works, but again, you don't want to lose yourself to darkness. That's easy. It's a lot harder to lose yourself to being a little bit more faith than fear. Alright. Okay, one more set of gloves. And then I'm going to take a break and show you something while the browns dry a little bit more. Something I showed last go, but it's fun to kind of check in with it as we take the time and do other things. And it's how I can create more consistent content for this channel, even if that content is definitely low tier and probably not that interesting. It's still fun. That's what matters. You gotta have a little bit of fun with it, and so on. So I'm gonna have to do the metal again too. So it'll be smart to let these browns dry. There you go. Alright, let's let those browns dry for a second or two. clean off this brush the best I can. Because I'm gonna use you again. Alright. Okay. So, I need to go over here. Close. Let's see. I think I need to actually reinstall everything because of that. So, let me see. Yeah, reinitialize, I guess, would be the best term. It's not really reinstall. It's set up the cloud environment to run it again. So I guess we'll wait for that, and I'll check something else real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that's the index. Something what I'm doing basically. That's good. Oh, look, it's on there. Alright, that looks like it. Okay. And that reinitialization is going to take a couple minutes, so I guess I'll wait that out. And see here. You know what? I think I'll just do the straight cobalt for the base of the tummy there. The t-shirt. I think that'll do just fine. And then when I do... No, I think it'll do just fine. Because I'm going to have to add something a little bit darker to the pants. The jean chaps. So I can get that kind of more fabric-y effect I was able to achieve on the test model. So we'll see. This stuff needs a good more amount of water. There. Stir. Stir. Alright. Alright. That is not sticking very well. Almost like it was not primed. That's annoying, but it was. I know it was, because I used a fucking spray can. Oh well. It's still doable, but it's going to take coats instead of... Yeah, it's not sticking very well at all. Just take more coats, that's all. Not the end of the world. I think it's this paint too. It's a cheap paint. Nothing wrong with cheap paint if you use it right and prepare it correctly. And kind of looks like maybe I didn't do that too well. It's alright again, I'm going to do the silver, so... Yeah, it definitely needs more water. There might be a touch-up base coating vid. Come to think of it, kind of looking like that might be necessary. Before the washes. That's okay. I mean, the washes can do a lot, and then you can fix after the wash is pretty good, right? It's not, it's a good step to do the fixes. I don't know. Because this is definitely going to need some base coats. More than one, which is annoying. Just because of this layer. And then the blue on the jean chaps kind of is not as good as it could be either. It'll actually look pretty good. It just needs to dry. And then be hit again. And then when I hit it again, I need to hit it with another silver. Alright, getting there. Paint. Water, paint. I'm gonna do it on this guy. Yeah, I did it that whole way. Okay. So there's gonna be a difference between this and between these and the test model, and it's that the shirt's gonna extend where it actually might have been designed to extend. On the test model, I covered it with silver in some places that maybe the model wasn't designed to have it. Jack himself, that there would be armor there, but you know, the model just doesn't capture that, and might actually look better if I follow what the model's suggesting. So that's the executive decision I made just a second ago, and I'm going to follow through on all of these. And it'll differentiate them from the test model. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, I think a good amount of my trouble I'm having right here is because the paint ain't that great. But it is doing the job, so I'm just gonna complain about it here and there. And fix it at the steps I'll have to fix it. I'll have to fix that too. Oh well. Excuse me. I did do that, didn't I? I did. Oh. Not some of that mistake before it got too bad. Yeah. Should look more like cloth though than perhaps the previous attempt because how this paint's running, which is barely at all. Not very sticky, not very loose, and even mixed with water, it's again not very sticky. All right, t-shirt's done. Think I'm gonna do the metals again. I had a really bright metal, but I don't want that. There you go. Not yet, anyway. There will be a time for the bright metal. Use that water, I guess, then. I want to get the boots, boot tips anyway, and the guns, and any mistakes on the other level of the armor that need to be fixed. Yeah, I'm pretty worried about doing this on the fixed gun, but it looks like the hat did alright, so should be alright. Because of the glue. Sorry, I'm not doing my not vocalizing all the internal logic. want to do for the hand guards. Be nice to get them nicer. And then what I was able to do for my test figure. The hand guards, the hilt, and the trigger guard. There's no hand guard. I guess it would be hilt. The grips. The term is grip. Grip is what I wanted. Be nice to get the grips better. Wow, at least this metal freaking lays nice. Compared to that blue I was just using, holy hell. Well, I'll have to figure that out. I still got to do the hair and the face anyway, so. Oh, was there any other silvers on this guy I want to fix since I'm on him? Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. I still gotta wait for that blue to go a little bit more before I fix it there. Totally fixable though. I'm gonna hit those with a brighter silver later anyway, so. There we go. For now, that'll do. No, you were the one I already got the boot tips a bit, but they definitely need fixing. Oh, yep. Now I know the adhesive works. Holy hell. A lot of this metal's pretty clubby. It's alright, it does its job, whatever, but I'm grateful it doesn't get copyright struck, right? But it's very clubby. Not a club metal guy so much. Here and there, sure. Some Rammstein or Rob Zombie or something like White Zombie, something like that. Here and there, sure. There's a little bit more of it on this soundtrack than I'd prefer, but again, I'm just glad it doesn't get copyright struck. Super glad about that. Now let's check here. Alright. Well, might have been much easier to fix the silver on than the other one. Yep. Well, kinda. I can do something with that. There we go. Alright. Now, this is the one where I'm worried about the gun, but we'll just take the dive and see where it goes. Yeah, it's fine. So far it's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out what I want for the grips here, like, quick. Probably black. It'll justify me also doing the hair at the same time, so that'll work. And then I'll finish with the skin and then maybe some fixes. Sounds like a plan. Oh, that's why that was like that. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait a few for that one. Still wish my lighting rig was better. I think I'm doing pretty good for how bad my lighting is. Best I could put together with the space and resources I had, so. As I've said many times, you work with what you got and you work towards better tools. Only way to get a lot of these things done. Alright. Touch up there. Oh, his boots. I skipped the boots and went straight to the gun, didn't I? Last one I didn't have to do much with the boots. That's partially why I think. Boot tips, boot tips, boot tips. Yeah, we're starting to repeat songs. That's either VLC or we've actually gone through the playlist. Oof, that really needed to be fixed. Alright. Tough spot though. See why I got fudged up though. Both of those. On this side, a little better on this side, but still needs to be fixed. A good amount of that will be fixed in the washing, but still. Okie doke. Let's do that black then. Do the pistol grips and the hair, and then I'll get the faces. And then we'll let these suckers dry. And next it will be washes. Then details. Then possibly washes again. No, I gotta do the yellow on those things too. Let's get that out of the way. It's quick and easy, comparatively. Let's get that out of the way. Now I can't even get that yellow open. Alright, well, what about the other yellow I used then, if you're gonna be so cruel? Use this one. I thought I had another one. This will be fine, but likely to dump out more than I want. Or need. And a big brush. Good. Because it needs a lot more water. This is some interesting paint here. I'll do it for the base of that yellow. Way more yellow than I'm gonna need. Not as much as I thought it'd dump out though, so. Win a little, lose a little. C'est la vie. intended for the yellows. Detail brush is holding up pretty good. I'm happy about that. Can't always guarantee that'll be a thing. I probably don't need that much black. Enough to get the pistol grips. That requires a steady hand to get that part. Be fixed. I'd like to say my hands aren't steady as they used to be, but I didn't do much back in the day that required steady hands. So, and if my handwriting's any example, I probably never had steady hands. Unless I really don't want it to run all over the place in the hair. Yeah, for the initial layers, that's fine. Guess on one of these I could have done the pistol grips brown and the gloves black. Effect would have been similar, but more comic accurate. And oh well. I need a good amount, not too much. It's like this black's gonna need to sit too. It's not sticking that well. It's doing its job, but it's doing it poorly. Alright, that takes care of that black. Let's see, is there anything else I can while I'm here? Well, this blue would be nice. Oh, this cobalt, as it's called, dark blue. Get that a bit, since it dried a little bit. Dries nicely, this cobalt, but it just does not lay for shit. Got some kind of nice matte texture to it. It does lay nicely, I like it. Once it dries, it's got a nice texture to it. Almost a matte texture, a little rough looking. Take a wash really nice too. But yet, it's hard to work with at first. Stick to itself real good too. That initial onto primer was terrible. Alright. Skin tones. And we're done. Oh! I have to restart that thing because I didn't continue it. Ha! Oh well. Yes, reconnect. And you gotta put everything back in there likely. I mean, there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, that ran, so. Oh, did it execute? No, I think that's my previous execution. Oh no, it'll run. Dope. You don't have to backtrack all the way. That's always nice. Alright, skin tone. This one's tough to get right. It's initially gonna look weird as shit. And on the face in particular, you do not want to lay it on too thick. You'll lose all your detail. And if you lay it on too thin, you'll end up losing all your detail anyway, because you'll have to apply coat after coat. Skin tone is my least favorite part. Ugh, and this stuff is thin already, and I put too much water in there. Alright, come on now. There we go. There we go. Hopefully that consistency is a little better. I just don't want it to run. Nor do I want it to blow out all the detail. Yeah, that'll be fixed later. Hopefully I didn't blow out all that detail. Won't know till it dries. I think it'll be alright. Just in case, because I don't like how that laid at first. Dries upside down, it'll be a little bit better from how it was and a little bit more fixable, I think. I think. This one's gonna be much better. difference in paint consistency makes a massive difference. Yep. Second time was much better. Boom, 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 boom. This is why I wanted those bases so bad. Wanted them to be glued to their bases. Gives me this extra point of manipulation without having to touch my other painting. Makes a massive difference. Especially for this finer detail stuff. And honestly, it's an absolute nightmare. It's nice when you get it right, sure, but if you don't get it right, it's a nightmare. Hard to fix. There we go. There we go. I guess I can do that gold that's on the belt buckle too for the hell of it. I did find a gold that I had, an unopened gold. At least I think, yeah, it was this. I did a bronze last time on my guy, and then I eventually did it on the test model, right? Then I eventually did it in this more actual gold, but way too much gold again. Way too much paint. Some of it goes to the art gods, right? Just some of it. Consider it a charitable donation to the gods of art. There's a lot that's going to need to be fixed in the highlighting stage, detail highlight stage, but that's alright. That fixed his face a little bit. Yeah, it's much better than I thought it was. Good. With that, I think we're done, folks. I am going to do the tops of the bullets brass, but that's going to be during the highlighting stage, so I don't need to worry about that. These boys need to dry. So, what do I do here? I think I'm going to show you guys one of them up close a little bit, see what I did. Yeah, the lighting from where I'm at, you can't see shit, but hopefully you're getting an idea how far it came. They're all basically like this. They'll dry, and then we'll do a wash on them. Possibly later tonight, more likely tomorrow or Thursday. But that's where we're at, which is nice. Honestly, this was the part of issue number 3's campaign I was the most terrified about. Not the quality of the book, not getting all of it done, not paying the artists, not the COVID stumbles. No, it was getting these guys painted. I did not think I could do it even this well. So I'm very glad I'm pulling the trigger on it and finishing that. And with that, I guess I've coded with IronVerse Comics. Show you what I had going for the heck of it. New piece of AI art while we were sitting here. Still got quite a few renditions to go through, so. But the vid on this piece will go up on the channel here sooner or later. And yeah, something I do in the background while other things are going on. It's kind of nice to be able to. But with that, I think I'm finally going to breathe for a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll catch you on that old, rusty IronVerse Comics trail. You take care, folks. And as always, thank you for everything.